it's nice to meet you. I'm Michael.
Brown.
Doug, thanks for joining us. This is Matt.
BeTerrific.
BeTerrific.
Oh, I was on your show, I think.
You had a green RS.
Yeah, exactly, an RS.
So you had a green RS last year. It was a
model.
Yeah, it was a. Hold the microphone right up to your mouth. I believe that was a 73.
Correct, that's right.
Okay.
It was a third series touring chassis number 1334.
Wow. And so then you have this, which is a 95. What is it about the 993 that you like a lot?
This car is, I've pretty much owned most of the RS lineage cars, and out of all of them, this is my favorite car. It is without a doubt the most visceral car to drive on the street and on the track that there is. It's completely devoid of any insulation, carpeting in the car. The way it's presented is exactly the way it came from the Porsche factory. There were 227 of these built, and just the driving experience in this car is an epitome in my mind for an air-cooled car.
Factory roll cage, is that correct?
Factory roll cage, again, single mass flywheel in the engine, again, a 3.8 Vario-Ram engine, so it's just a fantastic car.
Now, a lot of these cars, I mean, this car didn't have traction control or any of the Porsche stability management or anything like that, and this is why this is like the last of the Mohicans, right? Because this really had a lot of the, it's like the last that didn't have all the modern conveniences, but was the most technologically advanced everywhere else.
Exactly. No AC in this car, so I mean, you know, again, you do everything to get the weight out of these cars that you possibly can, and it is the end of the air-cooled lineage in my mind. So it's the last of the air-cooled analog cars.
And in typical Porsche fashion, the more you take out of the car, the more they tack onto the price tag.
It's treated me well. I've owned the car since 1998. It was a cover car in Excellence in 1999. Yeah. There's a copy of Excellence in there, and let's say that I bought the car for the emotional appeal, and it's treated me well, as most RS.
By the way, he's completely wrong. They do charge you to delete stuff, but the more you add, the more they charge too.
Now, well, actually, for a while, it used to be that RS cars were less pricey than the back in the like the 73 era.
Well, they should be, because there's less going into them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Can we take a look at the engine and then start it up? I mean, it's never much to see on a 911, but it's always worth taking a look. This actually is surprisingly less concealed than most.
Again, it's because there's no AC in the car, there's no factory blower motor for the heater systems and all that. I mean, it makes the car much simpler inside in terms of the engine compartment.
Well, so, and I guess all the engine covering that you would see in a normal 911 or even a 911 Turbo adds 2-3 pounds. They take it off.
Well, and again, these were before they started doing with the 996's engine covers and things like that too. So I mean, everything was a lot more exposed with the air-cooled cars.
But even then, you could actually identify all the parts, even better than even on, let's say, an SC. And the Vario-Ram, Ed Shiner from Wheeler Dealers actually had the Vario-Ram apart, and it is fascinating how the sleeves inside the intake manifold can vary with the revs and give you a flatter torque curve.
So there's tuned resonance ports, as they called it, exactly. And again, that's all part of the torque in this engine is really quite special. It's got great pull from about 1,700 RPM right up to redline. You're never wanting for torque in this engine. It's pretty good.
What's the redline at?
Just over 7,200, I think it is.
And have you done any work to the car as far as aftermarket modifications, any exhaust?
It's got aftermarket Billy Boat exhausts on it, but other than that, the car is completely stock.
Wow. Well, Music Junkie says it looks beautiful even for a 20-year-old car. It's 23-year-old car, by the way.
Correct, that's right.
Yeah. Can we hear it start up?
Sure. By the way, my wife's over there. I just want to acknowledge her as well.
How are you? You're super into cars as well.
Yes.
Which is your favorite? I think last year you said that the RS, the green RS, is your favorite.
I really enjoy the green one. Yes.
You enjoy the green one?
I enjoy the green one because I get a chance to drive that more often.
Oh, he doesn't let you drive this one, huh?
Well, this one doesn't get out too often.
Hold on, here we go. I'm excited.
Car owners, please report to your cars for car judging.
You guys getting a good shot of it?
it?
Yes.
Car owners, please report to your cars for car judging.
Beautiful.
And when that's on the track, it screams.
Yes, yes. So you don't drive this one that much?
Nobody drives this one much.
Really?
Well, that's why it stays in such great shape. It's a garage queen.
Wow. Well, the 73 gets some road time.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
Thank you, guys.
It was great to see you again.
Likewise.
So I hear that this doesn't get out of the garage that much.
It's got 18,000 kilometers on it. I put half of that on myself. It came out of Berlin. It was a Euro delivery car over there, and I got it back in '97, I say. So we put it just short of 10,000 kilometers on it, but it's a very special car, and they're hard to find, and needless to say, you want to treat it well.
Yeah, you never take it on the track.
This car is not a track. I've got a GT3 Cup car that I use as a track car.
The underhood stickers
Are all in German.
In German.
Yeah.
Erst
Berlin
gefüllt
delivery.
Mit dem besten Öl von Shell. Filled for the first time with Shell's best oil.
Which is interesting because after the transition out of this car, Mobil became the principal sponsor, and really now with Porsche is the significant engine oil developer since the late 90s. So it went from Shell to Mobil.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much. It was
guys.
great to see you. I wish you the best today. You should win for this. I think you should.
We win just by enjoying this car. It's
It is
a privilege to own it.
Talk about the Greenwich Concours D'Elegance. You're here, regularly. I think this is the most spectacular show for two reasons. One, you get to get up close and personal with the owners. Guys will open their bonnets and start cars up, and then also people drive their cars here. And lastly, you never really see the same cars year after year. It's always something different.
Well, I think that in the Northeast, without a doubt, this is the best show certainly in the Northeast, and arguably it's becoming one of the best in the whole country at this point. And like you, I think it's accessible. People, it's always about the people for me and meeting the individuals, and so it's more of a camaraderie of car people. And for me personally, that's the highlight of the show at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful. Last question. I know the answer, but somebody, I think Jimmy asked, the fuel tank gets filled in the front.
Correct.
But I believe that the fuel tank is actually back here.
No.
It's in the front.
Tank's up front.
Tank is up front, and it gets filled up front.
Correct.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good show.
Thank you.
you.